Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Ryan Meltzer in Kuala Lumpur at Defense Services Asia, which is touted as being one of the 5 largest defense shows in the world. That normally means, of course, that it's number 5, but don't get me wrong, this is a huge show. There are some 1,500 companies here, some 70 countries represented, as well as the literal big guns, all the weapons and the new technology, the drones and what have you. There's also the figurative big guns. There's defense ministers from several countries. There's chiefs of army, navy and air force and police chiefs, immigration chiefs, all here to check out the latest technology, not only of course for warfare, but also for counterterrorism, for intelligence gathering, for defense of course, as the name implies, and for these non-conventional threats that people are very worried about. There's things such as cybersecurity as well. Now I'm in the area, the main pavilion, and this particular pavilion is the China pavilion, and there are several different companies represented here, all very big names in international defense industries and of course in China's defense industries. And I chatted earlier with some of them. I hope that they'll be able to speak to me now because it's got pretty packed here, pretty busy. We've got VIPs visiting throughout the day, members of royal families from Malaysia, defense ministers and so on. Let's see if we can grab someone over here at this booth and see if we can find out what the technology is that they've got on offer here. So let me see who I might be able to speak to. Hi. Hi, can you spare a couple of minutes for us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Could you just, first off, can you just tell me who you are and what the name of your company is?
So
and
I look at you? Or
yes, you're looking at me.
Okay.
And yeah, tell me the name of your company, who you are, what kind of technologies you have on display and on show here.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Xu Mingchen, and I'm from the Polytechnology. And for this time, we have bring so many advanced equipment. And first of all, I would like to introduce our UAV system.
Okay.
Please follow.
Yep.
For this time, we have bring the Grasp UAV system, and for this type of the equipment, the endurance is more than 40 hours, and it can take more than 200 kilogram the payload. And second, I would like to introduce our anti-tank missiles.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that this is the real product, but without the combat part. And for this kind of equipment, it can destroy the enemy from 300 meters to 4 kilometers, and it has the very high accuracy.
Right.
And then let me introduce the...
Okay, we're going to lose our cameraman over here, but he'll find us.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second here. Let's make sure he can see us. Okay, so what do we have here?
Okay, now I would like to introduce the surface-to-surface missile CM501, and it can destroy the enemy within 40 kilometers. And the most advantage of this equipment is it can be locked in many platforms. For example, the vehicle, the UAV, and the shipment.
I see, right. So it can be launched from many different
yes.
types of vehicles. And what are we seeing up here, these drones that we're seeing here? Is there anything special about these?
This is the UAV used by the policeman and for the surveillance.
Right.
And
are there any special products that you're unveiling at this show, or that are sort of you're trying to particularly promote at this show?
Okay, the last one I will introduce.
Okay.
Our...
Let's take a stroll over.
For this one, you can see that this is the facial recognition system.
Oh, okay.
You can...
Oh,
way, please.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, and so...
You can see that it can recognize me and you.
Right. All right, it's picking us out there on the cameras, okay.
Yes.
And so what would be the purpose of this?
It can be used by the policeman to catch up the bad guys. For this kind of equipment, we have 2 advantages. The first one is that we have a very big database. In China, we have 1.8 billion faces in our database. And the second is we're using the technology. So how to say that? For the black skin people.
Because that's a problem that sometimes the facial recognition has problems with darker skin tone.
Yeah, dark skin. But
right.
For our system, we can recognize no matter the
right.
white people, the yellow people, and the black people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. And the drones, any new technology with the drones that we're seeing here at this particular show?
That one.
Which one?
We also have one. This is Silent Hunter.
Oh,
it can destroy the enemy without the cartridge. We use the energy, means laser.
Right, right.
It can shoot the laser shoot to destroy the small UAV.
Okay. So this is for shooting down unmanned vehicles.
Yeah, unmanned vehicles.
Right, autonomous vehicles. That's fantastic. Now, I spoke with a woman earlier. Is she still around here? Because I wanted to speak to her about the importance of the show, but I think she may be there speaking with senior military people from the Malaysian military right now. I wonder if that's something you can talk to us about, how this show, because you have defense ministers here, you have chiefs of police, you have chiefs of Navy and Air Force and immigration people and police, how good a showcase Defense Services Asia is for your products, because you can reach out to these people and they can come and see for themselves what you have to offer.
Yes, we think the DIC is a very, very good chance for us, because we can see that the DIC is top 2 defense exhibition, and we are honored to participate this exhibition and to talk with the MOD from many countries. So it is a very good chance for us to represent our products.
Right, and I guess there's an element here of wanting to work with the surrounding and neighboring countries that what's good for their security is also good for China's security.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
yes.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for introducing us to some of your products.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so we'll take a wander around here. There's many more Chinese booths, as you can see here, lining up around the outside edge. And let's go see what other products are on show here.
Is that okay?
Good,
okay.
Thanks.
Some gift for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll pick this up afterwards.
Okay.
I'm still live on TV now.
Okay.
Okay, so there's one other booth that I visited earlier. Again, this is leading state-owned, from my understanding, state-owned defense industry companies. So let's just head over to the next booth. Mind the step, Simon. And we'll see, of course, it's not all about weapons. There's also products here that are for search and rescue, for instance. There's non-lethal weapons, there's communications devices. Clearly this is something for undersea work. There are vision technology behind us here. Again, these are all Chinese companies. And we'll see if I can find the fellow that I spoke with earlier. There he is there, I think. Hi, I'm back to speak to you again.
Okay, and Minister of Defense is coming.
It's coming here, okay.
I think here is the first station.
Oh, okay, as soon as he comes, I will let you run away and go and greet him, if that's okay. So I certainly won't interrupt your meeting with Malaysia's Minister of Defense, that's Hishamuddin Hussein. Can I just ask you who your company is and what you do, what you specialize in?
Our company, my company is a CETC, stands for China Electronic Technology Group Corporation, and we are one of the biggest defense electronic group in China and specialized in defense electronics. And we have over 170,000 employees in China.
Okay,
and also over 30 branches all over the world, and also still expanding the international market.
Right, fantastic. And some of the specialty items that you make, I mean, I'm seeing some things here. What do you got here?
This is called the DA42 MPP. MPP means multi-purpose platform.
Okay.
It can do the geographic survey, as well as MPA means maritime patrol aircraft.
Okay, so that's very much can have civilian uses then as well,
really,
right?
For the Coast Guard, for Navy, and also for the civil ministries. Also.
Right, but I also see other things that are quite clearly military purposes here. We've got, what are these? Are these missile launchers of some kind or no? This is communications technology.
No, Actually, this is a various types of radar, and for example, this is a long-range weapon locating radar. It's used for army. Right. It can detect the ammunition of the gun, and it can track and extrapolate the gun position.
I see.
And this one is for the long-range surveillance radar. Right. So it's mainly for the Air Force. Okay. To detect the very long range, over 400 kilometers or 500 kilometers to the enemy aircraft.
Right. And can you tell me what purpose do you see, or what use do you see from defense shows? Can we just move back a bit? It's quite noisy here. Defense Services Asia. How do you see this benefiting your company, and in turn how you can benefit the countries that come to the show?
I think first of all, I think we got the benefit because we attend the show, and the show is a platform. It can so many companies. First of all, we meet friends. No matter it's the deal or no matter it's contract, but we meet friends. From stranger, we come close, we contact each other, meet friends. And here we have over 1,500 exhibitors, and I think more than 10,000 visitors. So they also come. This is a very good platform to know what is a CTC. I think from in Asia, maybe they know China is good, but in other parts, in Africa, in South America, in Europe, they don't know China. But they know not much of China. But Malaysia is a very international country, and especially in the KL, very internationally. So many foreigners come here, so it's a platform to show. The DSA is a defense show Asia. So not only for location in Asia, but not only for Asia.
Okay, and you clustered all the Chinese clustered here together in this one pavilion, so it's a real showcase for what China has to offer.
Yeah, so here, because we have 5 companies come here this time, one for shipbuilding, one for the munitions and tanks, and one for the missiles, the UAVs, and here for the defense electronics. Right. The radars, the EW system, the safe-fly system, and also the AWACS.
Right, right. So you really cover all the bases between all the Chinese companies.
Because the electronics is everywhere. So you can find it in the shipborne, in the airborne, in land bases, even the satellites, all the electronics.
So what we're really seeing is the advance of use of electronics and technology. Obviously, it's gone a long way from firing shells to, like you're saying, be able to track what type of ammunition, what the trajectory is, all of this. So we see the advance in technology every year.
Yes, we use cutting edge technology and the state of the art. So technically, we have in the top level, and we're still looking forward and to acquire the new technology, because now in China we're doing the Industry 4.0, right? And also we have the China Made 2025. So I think we follow the call or the leadership of the President Xi Jinping, and also the other leader, and also the ministries, the principles, the regulations. So we do our best.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Okay.
Great talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, we'll try not to bump into the Minister of Defense, because then we'll get pushed around by bodyguards and so on. Let's take a stroll down. I noticed that Turkey also has an enormous setup as well, a very, very large pavilion. I guess it's a bit of a surprise to me that Turkey actually has such a large defense industry, but judging by the size of their pavilion, that seems to be the case. So I'm taking a bit of a random stroll here in the direction of Turkey's pavilion. And we got South Korea to the left here. And shells we can clearly see. Other ammunition here. And again, another Chinese company. From its name, very clearly, in the aerospace sector. And aside from the trade aspect of this show, there's also a forum taking place, the Putrajaya Forum, where you have the lofty issues of the day, such as this non-conventional threats, even issues such as refugees and the challenges that creates, cyber threats as well. And there's also a roundtable of the chiefs of the various armed forces as well, tackling big issues of the day. This is a UAE pavilion here. So obviously the United Arab Emirates now are also creating their own military vehicles or defense vehicles. And The large guns by the look of it. So can I just ask a quick question? I'm from China Global Television. This is, what is this?
This is our semi-auto sniper. It's a 308 caliber. It shoot multiple targets with, in one time. It's different than the bolt action.
I see.
So we have a 20-round magazine. It reach up to 700 meter. It's a DMR, okay, with a quick release silencer.
Right.
You can see over here. It's been all made in UAE.
Right.
The rifle itself, but the accessories we buy them based
like
on
the scope, for instance.
The scopes,
right.
I mean, the bipods.
I see. I see.
Yeah, it's based on the customer requirements.
Oh, I see. It can be customized.
All these products are made in UAE.
Right.
Okay, we have different calibers. We have starting from pistol up to sniper 338.
Right, right. I see more of them here. And how old is the defense industry in the UAE for manufacturing your own?
Our manufacturer is 10 years old.
Right.
So today,
How do you find Defense Services Asia as a platform for you to advertise and showcase your products, given how many chiefs of Army, Navy, Air Force, Defense Ministers, Police?
All of our products are in services today, and we are in many tenders going on, and most of our armies units back home in UAE and in the GCC, we are using our rifles.
Right.
It is in service. We deliver a lot of them to a customer in UAE and out the region. We have a lot of subsidiaries around the world also.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Business to do. Yes. Yeah, of course, on the sidelines of this event, there's a lot of business-to-business meetings and deals being made, and people trying out the big guns. They seem to have the Turkey badges around their necks, but they look like Malaysians to me. Okay, let's move on our way toward the Turkey Pavilion, which is a very large pavilion, as I say. This is UAE still. And they have obviously designed this place to be able to drive large vehicles in here, so it's quite easy for them to display full-sized vehicles as well as the models that we saw. There's a helicopter over here to my left. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, a helicopter on display, assuming they didn't fly that one in. And Turkey is over here to this side here, Simon. And as I say, the name is Defense Services Asia, so a lot of this should also be about defense technology, not merely the weapons of war, as it were. Speaking of weapons of war, we certainly see more weaponry here. And it's quite easy to get lost in here, but I am seeking out the Turkey Pavilion because I was quite surprised at the scale of it, not really aware that Turkey has such large defense industry as it obviously does have. And yes, I did manage to find the Turkey Pavilion here. So with luck, we'll find someone to speak to here as well. And it obviously seems that Turkey does have a quite highly developed defense industry because they have a large pavilion here. And a number of large vehicles on display as well. Right, so armored vehicles and a gun manufacturer here. So let's just see if we can have a chat with someone here. All right, there was a very large drone down here I'd like to check out. So it's all passing through the Turkey Pavilion here, a number of handguns. There's a handgun manufacturer here. And further down here I saw a very large drone that I'd like to find out more about. We tend to think of drones these days as being quite compact, but this is anything but. All right, so this is the large drone that I saw earlier. And more armored personnel carriers. Let's see if there's someone we can speak to here. Hi, I'm with China Global Television.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions.
Of course. Let me just direct you to our PR guy.
Okay, sure, please do. Hi, I'm with China Global Television, CCTV News as it used to be known. And I noticed that Turkey has a very large pavilion here, so I'm assuming this means that Turkey has a quite advanced and developed defense industry then.
Well, once compared with last 2 decades, Turkey had came in a very advanced position in terms of land, air and naval systems, which is domestically and indigenously designed and manufactured in Turkey. Now, actually, we are in the second phase. The second phase is now we are transferring this technology to other countries, like such as we are doing now with our partnered company in Malaysia, DEFTECH.
Oh, right,
As you see, those 8x8 vehicles are is a contract, is a DEFTECH contract, which FNSS is the main technology provider and the main system integrator. So the vehicles are based in Turkish technology, but it is transferred to Malaysia now. Now it's an indigenous vehicle, especially for DEFTECH. So you can actually get information about these AV8 vehicles from DEFTECH company.
Right, well I was quite surprised because I say DRB Hicom, which of course I know is a well-known Malaysian conglomerate, so I thought, I'm here 20 years, I wasn't aware Malaysia's manufacturing vehicles like this. So they're assembling the vehicles here with your technology? What's the situation?
Well, actually the situation is they have a huge facility, a very good facility in Pekan in Malaysia. So the entire manufacturing now is going on, is taking place in Pekan. That includes the welding and the kits and the subsystems. They also have some...
So it's like completely knocked down, is
Absolutely.
it? Like we say with vehicles, with cars, completely knocked down, so you send parts and it's
Actually,
assembled?
it's more advanced than that, because they also, now they started to build to build and develop their own kits, and they started to completely manufacture the vehicle in Malaysia. And in the future, it will be a Malaysian product which DEFTECH could export. So it was this was in the scope of the contract, and it was a deal from the very beginning. So we were quite successful to come to the middle of the program, and we delivered 9 configurations of the vehicle so far, with, of course, DEFTECH. But for the future, we are also targeting different markets within the Southeast Asia region, such as the medium tank program, which we are also having a partnership with the Indonesian company PT Pindad.
Okay, right.
So what we did is it's a jointly developed medium tank program with Turkish company FNSS and Indonesian company PT Pindad.
Right.
And this tank was actually revealed in last year in May in IDEF exhibition in Turkey. So currently the tank itself is in Indonesia, and it's with the army, and they are testing it. And hopefully in the future we are waiting serial orders, and that will also be manufactured in Pindad. So what I'm trying to tell you is we are here to bring value. So and we were quite successful with doing this with our partner DEFTECH, and now with another company, with another country. So we will continue our support, and we are so happy to be here with sharing the information, because it was for a long time we were gaining this technology from outside. Now we are developing it all together with friendly countries, and I think this brings big synergy. And although we are far away, we are good allies, we are good friendship between both countries. So I hope this will bring long-term peace to the entire region. So it's a good show. It's good to be here, as always.
Okay, fantastic. Great talking to you. I chose the right person to speak to. Thanks very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hope I'll be helpful to you.
It definitely was. As I say, I knew, I was very surprised to see these had some kind of Malaysian branding on them. So this is definitely enlightening to me and to our viewers.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot. So, of course, with all the conflicts going on around the world now, especially when you see places like Syria, you have to hope that this show really does live up to its title of being about defense and about countries securing their own safety and security, and not about aggressive use of these weapons. Of course, they're designed for both purposes, but let's hope that the Defense Services Asia and all these, the new technology that we see on display here, and the hardware and military hardware, is used for defensive purposes and not to exacerbate the suffering of mankind. So that's it from me for today. Thanks for joining me here at Defense Services Asia in Kuala Lumpur. I'm Ryan Meltzer. Thanks very much.